discussing this. It's all good.
I've been, well, I'm Henry Drain, and I've been a cocaine addict for 20 years, and I'm 42, so let's try, just knock off 20 off the 42, and of course, we never start out wanting to use drugs. It's you use it as for fun, recreation, that sort of thing. So. Just simply a friend of mine down the street. I was good friends with him, and that's how that started. And one thing led to another. And so, if you're not satisfied with one drug, then you try something else. And I only did it for fun at the time, and it took me down a road within 20 years that I truly regret. I know I'm sitting here now and I'm good and healthy, but I haven't always been that way. If I had some pictures to show before and after, then your mind would be blown. So today, I'm the right kind of man because of some of those choices that I made, and with God being on my side, and it helped me through.
So how long was this process? You said 20 years, but at what point in time did this become more a lifestyle, that needing the drugs and, that kind of thing? How did that progress from that?
Well, I used it just to relax and have fun at the time. And tragedies and different situations that happen in an individual's life, you tend to fall back on something like that just to take it off your mind and ease your mind instead of doing what normal people do. And I just found myself using that more and more and more. So I kept a job. I was a functioning addict. So I was two people in one.
Kind of like a split personality in a way.
Split personality, and I was two people in one, and you never plan for tragedies to happen and different situations that you don't expect to happen, and of course we all go through those things, and it took me down, and then down, and then wanting to use more and more, and then trying other different things like popping pills along with it, because you just don't do one and not do nothing else. You're going to experiment with other things because you put yourself around different type of people that you normally not around.
Now, did you find this was your escape?
It was my escape, and that's what we do in this life. We want to escape from reality, what's going on, what you're struggling with, and then I'll get back to that issue later. Let me go do this to relieve my pain. And now that I'm older, I know that, the right way to relieve your pain is a relationship with Christ. And it's everything.
Now, while you were doing all those drugs, did you ever fear for your life, or what you may take might harm you, or your health? Did you see your health disintegrating, and how did that make you feel?
Well, I was 22 at the time. And, when you're 22, you think you can conquer the world, and the world is yours, and you can do what you want to do. And, I felt like I was tough as nails. There's nothing. If I had a loss financially, I felt like I got the energy and the strength. I'll get that back. I'm not worried about that. And so I just kept destroying my inner man inside, and also my spiritual man. And then now in retrospect, when I look back, every time I use, I realized that I wasn't able to hear God. The more drugs you use, the more negative things that you put in yourself. You close your ears from hearing the voice of the Lord. And now I see that. And but praise be to God, He's always been with me.
Yeah.
He's helped me through.
And do those constant negative thoughts bring you down as far as feeling less of a person about yourself?
Yes, most definitely. And you know, I had some death in my family. The ones that are very close to me, everybody has passed. My only sister, my mom, my grandparents, you know, the closest to me, are all gone. And I just felt like, and now I have this cocaine addiction, and I'm like, Lord, why did you leave me here by myself? You know, everyone that I know to be close to me, you know, who am I supposed to lean on? And, you know, I believe that, you know, it was in His plan for all that to happen so I can get to this moment right now. And I'm grateful for that.
Now, at what point did you realize it was time you'd fallen at your hardest and that you needed to kind of rise above it? Or when you found Christ and then?
You know, well, all that time I thought I hadn't known Christ, but I found out that I was just playing games. Either you're going to be for Christ or you're going to be against Christ. You know, we like to straddle the line. You know, on the weekend I'm not going to be with Him. I'm going to do what I want to do, and then Monday through Friday I'm going to serve God. Well, He don't want us like that. He wants us to be for real. And you know, I'm grateful. I'm today. You know, I'm for real.
So what happened? In what moment was it that you hit your bottom?
Well,
or did it happen over several times?
Yeah, I tried to stay clean for a while, and then I would relapse. You know, within the 20 years, and I'll get clean again, and then I'll relapse again. And probably I really started using real heavy is when my mom passed, and my grandparents passed, and all these things happened currently back to back. You know, within a 5-year period. You know, and I had more questions for God. You know, what is up with this? You know, what's going on? And you know, it really broke my heart. So the past 5 or 6 years, if we fast forward to now, since 2010, you know, I had a really good job. I worked for MSD for 13 years, and still was an addict at the same time, and you know, functioning addict, not being a real person that I need to be. So I haven't always been homeless and without, but you know, I've experienced a good life too. But you know, the better life is now, supposed to then, because I'm clean, and I'm closer to God than I've ever been. But I had a few tragedies. My son, my 18-year-old, I raised him good, and there was an accident on Fern Valley Road in 2010 where this gentleman was test driving his car, and his mom and his grandfather it was on a Sunday morning, he was going to the store, and you know, he hit him and killed him. And so my life really, I was barely holding on with this addiction at that time. So I was functional, but I was, you know, straddling the line between being functional and someone seeing that I got an issue. And so, you know, everything is going to be let out the bag. And my son's mom got killed, and you know, once that happened, it killed his mom and his grandfather. They was in the car together, and you know, then you know, the struggle really got deep, because now I got to get custody of my son. Me and his mom was not married, and he's 17, and he's a junior in high school. He graduated from Emmanuel. So you know, it really got difficult at that time, and you think I was using all these other years, boy. I had to put one in me right away, because it was most difficult for me to handle, because I realized that I'm gonna have to do what strong women do all the time. I'm gonna have to get custody of my son, and I'm gonna have to try to make this happen. And I didn't know how I was gonna do that, but you know, it got worse. My addiction got worse within this process, and on my job, you know, they happened to drug test me, and I lost my job at MSG after 13 years. And all this happened after the death of my son's mom and grandfather. So I had to go through a double funeral, 2 caskets, and then my son started struggling with the issue, and we had to do counseling, and it seemed like the counseling wouldn't work with him because he was fighting against that, and what really took me all the way down to the bottom, my son ended up taking his life. So I had to get custody of my son. I had to deal with that situation, and I had a good kid. It was my only son, and I only had 2 kids, my daughter and my son, and I really got high off of that one. And you know, just trying to do better for myself after losing a good job, it was difficult for me. And so I ended up losing my 18-year-old. And that's a big pill to swallow, because he had a 3.7 grade average at Manual, and had about 8 football scholarships offers. So, you know, I really didn't know how to take this one. I just stopped caring after that, and it just didn't anything matter. So I felt like, you know, who am I going to turn to? You know, the ones that are close to me are already gone, and I'm trying to be as strong as I can. And then I got a daughter. My son and my daughter's a year apart, 4 years apart. I'm sorry. So she's 14 at the time, and my son is 18. And so, you know, it was just a very difficult moment for me. So, you know, what can I say? I had already lost my good job, so I hit rock bottom, and then I really started using. And I think right now I weigh about 215, 220. I think I got down to like 160 pounds when I found this place here. And I don't know, I spent many nights outside after I lost everything. I slept up on Nevada, Preston, and right down the street here, down Preston, and anywhere I could, you know, shelter house, you know, and you know, things it was pretty bad for me. And so that's why I say now, mind, body, soul, and spirit. So you know, deep down in, I wanted to get clean, and I wanted to do better. After I buried my son, and you know, that kind of like bankrupted me all the way financially when I had to deal with that. So I just didn't see any way that I wanted to be around anymore because of that. So you know, I start, you know, eventually, you know, I come up here to get me something to eat. You know, I had to, because I got tired of begging, handling and all that, and going to different churches and asking for money, and you know, that's, you know, just never was me. Because, you know, my personality, I'm gonna ask a few times after that. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. You know, do whatever matters, even if it had to do something drastic. But you know, I came here, and it's been a good thing for me. It took me a while, because you know, when you go through those type of things in your life, and there's many of us that, you know, dealing with addiction on a daily basis, and you just don't have nothing to hope for. But you know, you can come here, and you always get a smiling face when you come in these doors. And sometimes just a smile on somebody's face will hold you together just for another day. And then, you know, I think that speaks volumes. how it touches you on the inside. And then you can just make it another day, or you can make it the next hour. But you know, it seems like everybody in this place when I come in here is got a nice smile, something nice to say. And then you know what you feel. You know, you feel the presence of God here. I know this is a shelter house, but I believe this is God's house. I believe this is God's house, and I felt this presence. Even though as bad as I was, as bad off as I was, you know, I felt God's presence when I came in here. Every single time. And, you know, one day turned into 2, and then 3, and then, you know, it was just necessary for me to get here while I was going through that hard time. And, God done pulled me up, you know, he's a little bit at a time. He's pulled me up.
So where do you want to go from here? What are your goals? What are your hopes and dreams at this point?
I got all this compassion, and now I think God has been taking my heart and just like a sponge and squeezing all that bad stuff out. And I know I'm here for a reason. I mean, all I got left is like my cousins and stuff, and half of them I don't even know who they are. I remember going when my mom was living to reunions, but I can't remember all those people and where they are. You know how contact numbers get all messed up when people pass. You know, families go through hell when you know the strongest one in the family passes. You know, everything just gets so tore up. And that happened with my family. Everybody fighting on stuff they're not supposed to be fighting over. Instead of, you know, being concerned with what's happening right now, just greedy. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that happened. So, you know, all that kind of stuff got tossed around. So, I know I just want to do God's will. And, you know, I still have a daughter. And, you know, to make make matters a little bit worse, my son got this girl pregnant, and her name is Lyric Drain, and she's 4 now. And so, you know, coming from my son, that's all I have, and my daughter. So, you know, that's my angel. Those 2 girls are my angels. Okay. And so, you know, not only fight for me, I gotta fight for them. But you know, it tore my heart out. You know, I raised my boy good and did everything right with him. And, you know, I asked the Lord, why did you do that? You know, take him away like that. So, you know, one man's actions, just from test driving a car, Miss Commonwealth Dodge, just from test driving a car, and it's like dominoes fell, and it affected everybody. And I had I had a job for 13 years. I was going to retire from there. And, you know, because of one man's actions, it sent everybody overboard. Affected everybody. So, you know, it's all about making the right choices and doing the right thing. So, you know, everything in me, I'm determined to do the right thing from now on. I just am.
You know you have a lot to offer. And your experiences in life are something that you have grown from, and probably what God wants you to give back. There's so much to learn from what you've had experience that people don't even understand. And that's been your curse and your blessing all at the same time. Because at this point now, you can take those experiences, those heartaches, those problems that you've had, and grow from that and give back to this world just through what you've learned and your experiences. And your actions from this point can alter not just a single person's life, but so many others. You do have a lot to give this world, Harry. You do. for Henry. You really, really do. And Henry, I don't know if you realize, but what a special person you are. And God does love you. And He does walk with you every day. And it shows. You see it when you walk in the store.
You know, God has a way of purifying a person's heart. And I used to think I'd be talking or thinking about something, and I literally I can hear the Lord speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an amazing thing, and I used to question that, all the time. But I'll think something in particular, and then He'll give me a response, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.
That's right. That's a gift.
If I never be able to obtain a lot of money, houses, doing some of the things that I had before, I'm okay with that. I wouldn't. This peace that I have, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. If I have to live on the street for the rest of my life, I'm okay with that. Because this peace I have inside, there's no man that could give me this peace I have.
That's right.
And I treasure what I'm feeling. Don't want to let it go. Now that I'm here at this point, I don't want to let it go. I absolutely will not sacrifice that. I would not. And if it took for all these things to happen to me to get me to this stage, I'm okay with it. I don't want to be okay with it. I mean, who wants to lose a son at 18? Who wants to do that? Anybody in their right mind does not want to do that. And it just has so much to offer. So do it for him. He's another driving force. Mm-hmm. Do it for him. And I never want his daughter, my granddaughter, to know. Maybe she'll hear about some of the things I used to do, but she'll never see it out of me. She'll never see that from me. I won't let that happen. And my daughter has seen enough. So do it for him.
And most likely, she can learn from your experiences. She can see the struggles and pains you went through and have no desire to ever go there.
I pray that every day.
Mm-hmm.
I pray it every day. And also, I believe this. I thought about this too. I said, I know my mom and my grandparents and everybody was close to me, my sister. I know they're all in heaven, and all this time I just believed that they was watching after me.
Well, they are.
They were watching after me all this time, and sometimes our toughest moments, those are the kind of angels that God has sent to us, to get us through. And I can't say I heard their voices. I won't say that. I know and it might be a little too far, but I know that I hear God's voice. I'll be struggling with something, and then I hear this, but you can make it. It'll be okay. Or trust in me. I hear that all the time. And I know it's God. Can't tell me it's not.
That's right. And in those moments when you just didn't think you could carry yourself any longer, He was doing it for you. Just getting you through that day to day.
No, for sure.
And I'm so grateful that, and through all your experiences and struggles, that you have come full circle to find Him again, to realize that importance and what He's bringing to your life and living it in that day to day. We can see it in you when you're here at the kitchen. I mean, you are a bright light when you walk in the door. You are an example of what God wants us to be, hopes us to be. You're proud to be able to profess your faith.
Oh,
and that's
man.
a beautiful thing.
I'll tell anybody. I don't care where I'm at, what stage I'm on, it don't matter. I'll never deny the power of God. Mm-hmm. You can't make me doubt it. When you know and what you've been through, I know too much about it. All these people out here that say there's no God, can't make me doubt him.
Well, I'm just grateful we've been able to be a small influence in that, or be here for you in your time of need. You said not just to be able to give you a meal in your belly and some food for nourishment, but hopefully just a little bit of insight, or to feel the love of God in this place, and to feel like you have, can move further day after day. That's the whole point of what this place is all about.
Well, I will say this. This is just the beginning of what this place is going to do for people. I feel that in my heart. I know this is just the beginning. There's somebody out there, they get in line every day, and I talk to those people all the time, are just a moment away from going in the right direction. And every time they come in this building, I know they feel the presence of God. And I'm so glad, I'm grateful for what you all do, and everybody that plays a hand in making all this happen, because I believe it's so necessary. And I just don't think this is the end. I think it's going to go to another level, because when I come here, I feel God's presence. If I didn't, I wouldn't come. Mm-hmm. And it's changed me. It has changed me. It vaulted me in the right direction all the way.
I'm glad to hear that. And like you said, what God wishes for this place to be, He will make sure it happens. He always does. He's managed to do that for 34 years.
That's right.
Grown from feeding 7 people to 400 to 500 a day, and that on complete donations. And it's an amazing blessing that we've been given year after year after year. And that is completely God's work. It's not by the hand of any of us. It's in His doing and His desire to give back to His people, the ones that He knows are salt of the earth, so to speak, the people that He needs to touch the most and be there for the most. And this is where He can do that.
And I gotta say, Chuck is a good man.
Yeah.
I mean, on sight, you there's something special about him. Mm-hmm. And I'm just not sitting here just saying it, just be saying. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Chuck is a good man.
Yes, he's got a lot to this mission, and he loves it. It's in his heart.
I see that. I see nothing but compassion every time I look at him. Mm-hmm. And there's no other way to be.
I agree. Well, Henry, I thank you for this opportunity to be able to talk to you, to go through, and you to open up yourself to me and share your experiences with me.
I surely appreciate it too, and you all keep doing what you're doing. It's working.
Will do.
It works. It works.
Will do. Thank you.